Yeah.
Atlanta News First Plus starts now with First Alert Weather.
Atlanta News First Alert meteorologist JD Dishroon. And as we take a look at your rain forecast for the next few days, the beautiful news is we're not going to be seeing much in the way of moisture as we head into the next week. So maybe a mountain shower tomorrow. That's why it's not showing up on the map here. It's just because obviously that's a zoomed in view of the metro. But other than that, we're not really going to see anything other than some heat and unfortunately the humidity building as we head on in towards the next 7 days. So that's something we're just going to have to kind of keep an eye on as we head towards really, maybe some showers on Friday towards the end of next week. So for tomorrow, again, that chance of mountain showers. Now, I know it just says mountain showers here, but it's a really small chance, about 20%. So not going to be looking at a lot of moisture out there for folks out into North Georgia. And that's some good news. We had a very wet weather pattern. I think most of us for the majority of us, actually, we're ready to have a dry spell to kind of dry things out. It was the second wettest May we've had in the last 30 years, and I think we have all kind of felt that with the rounds of rain moving through. Now, notice by Monday, though, we're warming things up. Temperatures right around 86 degrees, and on Tuesday, we're going to be looking at 87, and that heat and humidity starting to work its way in. So as we take a look right now outdoors, this is our live tower cam from the north perimeter, zoomed in on the skyline because it kind of shows you how hazy it's been today. It's been actually kind of blocking out the sun a little bit, obviously not blocking it out completely, but, you can kind of see that reddish tint out there right now around the sun because of all this haze. Well, what is it? It's actually smoke from Canada. That's right. Not even kidding. It's wildfire smoke up from our neighbors to the north there. So what happened is that front that we had that brought us all that moisture, well, it's pushed well to the south. And behind it, we have this northwesterly flow, a very strong northwesterly flow on the backside of this system. And what it's doing is it's helping to pull all of this wildfire smoke down from Canada across the U.S. and into the Mid-South. So this yellow kind of haze you see on the map here, what that is it's the smoke that's made it up into the atmosphere. So it's getting transported south, and you can see it makes it all the way down here into the Atlanta area. And we're going to continue to watch this as we go into the next day or so before we can finally see it. So now, as the atmospheric smoke makes its way to the surface, notice it spreads out. And that's why we're seeing a much larger footprint of the wildfire smoke than what we see in the higher levels of the atmosphere. The worst areas as of right now, during the 8 o'clock hour, the worst of it is actually over eastern Georgia and northern South Carolina. So, if you know anybody over near the Augusta area, maybe up towards Clemson or over towards the Greenville-Spartanburg area, they're seeing some very dense smoke in those areas. And it's actually causing some air quality issues out for those folks. Thankfully, we didn't have levels that high for us today. What we did have was a very pleasant afternoon. 81 degrees was the high, a few degrees below average. Our morning temperature of 57 felt beautiful. It felt good. It was comfortable. It was also almost 10 degrees below average, and we're going to look for temperatures to stay a little bit below average as we head through tonight. Now, here's a live view of Lake Lanier. You can see they too have that little haze on the lower edge of the horizon there, but otherwise a gorgeous day if you're going to hit the water up there in the lake there between Hull and Forsyth counties. 75 is what we're looking at in Atlanta. No issues with visibility, no rainfall today. The Lagrange sensor has been out for a few days now, so no. It's not 112 degrees in Lagrange, but it just goes to show you that sometimes it'll put out a little funny value there. I don't think I've seen 112 on the map here in Atlanta in quite some time, especially not in the month of June. Meanwhile, we're going to be looking at, for the most part, North Georgia's in the mid-70s right now. Mountains are in the 60s. And we're going to watch these temperatures fall as we head into the overnight hours. So we're going to eventually make our way down to about 62 degrees here inside the perimeter. Most folks in the suburbs are going to be looking at the mid to upper 50s. The farther south and east you go, the more likely you are to see some maybe lower 60s. And obviously the North Georgia mountains looking at the lower 50s in those higher elevations. So here's what you can expect. This is your first alert future radar, and thankfully not much. Maybe a few, wispy clouds as we head into the overnight hours. Otherwise, I think we're going to be dealing with some very crystal clear skies for tomorrow morning. It won't last. We'll deal with some cloud cover as we head into the afternoon, and then maybe the potential for a sprinkle or maybe a shower. I think the biggest chance that's going to be up into the North Georgia mountains. I know it showed a little bit of green, the West Metro trying to push through, yada. I think the model's kind of overpainting that. I don't think if any of those showers do kind of come through, they're actually going to make it to the ground here in the metro area because it is so dry. So it would evaporate before it hits the surface. The mountains, though, a little more humidity up there and a little cooler. So that combined means that might actually make it towards the ground as a little trough sweeps by off to our northeast. So as we head to tomorrow, actually pretty average for this time of year. Average is 84. We're going to look at 82 in Atlanta, 83 in Covington, 81 in Griffin, low to mid 80s across most of the area. Canton, upper 70s and mid to upper 70s for the North Georgia mountains. Now, heading into Monday, temperatures start to climb up. You notice that map got a little bit redder there, and that's going to be the trend as we have through the next several days. Temperatures slowly starting to climb, and the humidity will slowly start to climb with it. So you'll start to feel these temperatures in the morning, and you'll feel that moisture in the air as you step outside for those morning commutes. But by Monday afternoon, even the mountains are back into the mid 80s. Most of us mid to upper 80s, and I think that's the trend that we're going to be looking at as we head into the next week. So again, here's what we're looking at for tomorrow. Clear skies to start off the day. Clouds roll in by the late morning, early afternoon, and maybe a few isolated showers in the mountains. Again, I want to reemphasize, see those little dots there in Alabama and West Georgia. I don't think that's making it to the ground. I think that would be some, higher rain that evaporates before it makes its way down to the surface. So the mountain's really the only spot that I'm really concerned about, seeing the potential for an isolated shower on your Sunday. That's going to be mainly in the evening and only a 20% chance, so it's really not even a guarantee. The mountains, though, you will notice a little bit more cloud cover as we head through the day. Now, by Monday, beautiful sunny skies, temperatures in the mid to upper 80s. Tuesday, mid to upper 80s. Wednesday, mid to upper 80s. Thursday, just upper 80s. It's going to be pretty warm out there as we head into the back half of the week. And take a look at this. Wednesday and Thursday, even the mountains are going to be in the mid 80s. 86 for folks over into LJ, 85 in Griffin, 87 in Eatonton. And as we head into Friday, maybe a chance for some moisture. Model's not agreeing on this one at all. Euro has the rain starting to come in by the afternoon. GFS has it hanging around, maybe not even getting here till Saturday and kind of stalling out. The Euro just has it barreling straight through and clearing us out for next weekend. So if that happens, we'd see the showers and storms on Friday, and temperatures would be cooler on Saturday than what we actually have on the 7-day forecast here. Humidity would be a little lower as well. I don't think the front's going to just barrel on through, but I also don't think it's going to hang around as slow as the GFS is. So I've kind of gone with a little bit of a middle road here, which would give us the chance for showers Friday afternoon and into Saturday morning, early morning before sunrise. So that's why I don't have the percentage there on your Saturday. And that would give us those temperatures back into the mid 80s by Saturday with clearing skies slowly by the time we get into the afternoon. So it's just kind of something to keep an eye on. Obviously, the forecast is probably going to change before we get there. We'll have a little more clarity as the models start coming together. Otherwise, it's just going to be hot. It's just going to be sunny. And that humidity is slowly going to creep on up there. So I hope you're having a great weekend so far. I'm going to be back on air on Peachtree TV at 10 p.m. and ANF at 11. Ella Dorsey will be back in the morning to give you your latest forecast on air, online, and streaming right here.
Stay up to date on your latest weather from the largest team of meteorologists in the Southeast. Download the First Alert Weather app for hour-by-hour forecasts and join us every weekday at 11:30 a.m. on ANF+. You can also text WEATHER to the number on your screen, and we'll send a link directly to your cell phone.